Hi, I'm Ken Brown, CEO of Destiny Global, and welcome to this edition of Success Tips. Success Tips is a bi weekly teaching that myself and the other trainers here at Destiny Global do to keep you on track to accomplish your goals. Today, I have a special topic I'm going to be talking about, something that we've not done before, and I'm going to title this Destiny Global Community's Top 10 Habits of Two Percenters. So you know the rule, 98% of the population will be dead or dead broke by the age of 65. We don't want to be in that category. We want to be the two percenter. So let's talk about some of the habits of what two percenters do and how they remain in the 2%. So point number one, don't stop doing what you did to get here. So often, once we reach a little success, we get overwhelmed by it and we do stop doing the things that got us here to begin with. So keep doing what you did to get here. Point number two, create a long-term financial plan. This is so important because a long-term financial plan gives you a vision at least 10 years out of what you want, sometimes longer. April and I do one that's a 10, a 15, and a 20 year. And actually, how you make this into reality is you start taking steps right now. Even though it's a long-term financial plan, you're working on it, things you're investing in, what you're going to be doing towards stocks, towards your kids' savings accounts, towards future investments. We call that FFA, and that's not Future Farmers of America, those that you thought it was. That's future financial freedom, okay? We actually look at things that we can buy that will give us greater return than what we bought it for. It's very important to be looking for these type of things as you create your financial long-term plan. How are you going to increase your wealth? It's really what that amounts to. How are you going to create the legacy for your family so that in the future you are set. You have financial freedom, which is so important. Point number three, don't knee-jerk based on economic conditions. I can't even begin to tell you how many friends that I've had that have actually lost money in short-term situations because the market falls and they panic and they sell their stock when it's actually falling. You know what happens? Every day the market goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Don't be paying attention to so much short-term economic changes that you get overwhelmed, panic, and sell your stock because that's when you actually lose. If you hold on to stock and you don't sell it when it's falling, you actually hold it and you own it so that when it comes back up, you're back where you started. I've had numerous friends that have lost tens of thousands of dollars where I've just left it alone. Leave, buy it, and forget it. Toby Mathis, who is one of our lead financial advisors here for us at Destiny Global, he is the president of Anderson Wealth Advisors, is he tells you once you buy something for long-term investment, leave it alone. Buy it and forget it, right? Don't be in there dabbling. If you want to do day trading, you can do that, but have a separate fund set apart for that. But for your long-term investments, leave the stock alone, okay? Very important you do that. Don't knee-jerk. Point number four, avoid buying things, especially things that are expensive, that don't appreciate in value. So if you're going out buying new cars, I was guilty of this. I'd go out and buy new cars about every 2 years. You know what happens the moment you drive a car off the parking lot? It drops about 20% in value the minute that your wheels drive off the lot, if you didn't know. Not a good financial investment, okay? So watch what you're buying, especially things that are expensive, okay? I'm going to repeat that again. Watch what you buy, especially things that are expensive, that don't increase in value, okay? So that's called depreciating in value. Things that are just going to decline in value over time and not actually hold any value in the long term, okay? They just don't. So point number five, invest in cash flowing assets. This is really one of April and I, one of the things that we really look at doing, and we buy Airbnbs, we buy investment properties, and then we actually have people that stay in them, that pay us to stay in them. All of you know what an Airbnb is, or a Vrbo. Right? So you buy property, people come in and use it for short term, almost like they do. You have your own little mini hotel, if you will, and it generates cash flow left and right. It's a great tool to get started if you haven't. And it's something that I encourage you to. And there's other tools that you can get. You can get started in small side businesses, side hustles that'll generate cash flow for you. These are very, very valuable to continue to increase your wealth and add. And you'll find that most of the people in our 2% in the community do something along these lines, right? Jackie and Carmen do a fabulous teachings on this, especially at Dynasty, on how to increase your income using a side hustle. It's very important that you look at ways to continue to build your wealth over the long term. Point number 6, stay away from get-rich-quick schemes and the people that keep introducing them to you. Oh, friends, we have a number of people that have been in the community, have come through the community, and most of them are no longer in the community, but they'll pay attention or get caught up in schemes. Good hearts, good people, good intentions, but they get caught up in, I can invest and do a little bit of work and get a whole lot of return. It's usually not how it works. In fact, 99.5% of the time, it doesn't work. So be very careful about what you're doing and who you're spending your time with, talking about how you're going to create wealth. Make it sure it's people that you can actually look at and see over a long term that they have real solid assets, because you want to follow people like that. And that'll be a point that we'll talk about in just a moment. But I want you to be sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who you would want to become. People that are really, really knowledgeable about business, knowledge about investing, and you can see it because of the fruit of their life. Point number 7, know where your money is invested. Every penny. Let me let you in on a secret that April and I do. So I keep talking about April. Dr. April Brown, my beloved wife, the Executive Vice President of coaching here at the company. We meet every Wednesday, period. Every Wednesday afternoon about 5 p.m. After we've done the whole day, we finish the day. April's in the office on that day. We've done coffee with Ken and other things like this, or preparing for it. And then we're getting ready for what we're going to be doing in our own time together that we call our alignment meeting. And in this alignment meeting, we actually go through our financials every single week. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, every single week. And we look at where our investments and how they're performing. We look at our long-term financial plan and see if we want to invest more in a specific area. Recently, we sold a trailer because we're upgrading to another trailer, a vintage trailer, to have another Airbnb. We did this because we had a long-term financial plan. We also know that we wanted to have another cash flowing asset in our portfolio. And we figured out what we wanted to do, what we wanted to spend, and we're executing on that plan. So we know where every single penny. We review all of our accounts. We see where it's up or down. We pay attention, right? We go to our TD Ameritrade. We go to all of our bank statements. We look at stuff. We discuss it. And you know what? Before Destiny Global, before our original coach, Danny Johnson, poured into us, we did not do this. In fact, it was a point of contention. Now it's actually a point of excitement where we come together and look at how we're creating wealth together. This one thing alone can change your outlook with your spouse. It can change the long-term outlook for your family, is getting in alignment and knowing that you know where every single penny, where your debt is, how you're paying it off, how you're going to be investing in the future. And it is just a freeing, exciting time to spend with your spouse. And I encourage you or if you're single, make sure that you have somebody that you're spending time with that you can look up to, that you know is solid in this area that I just talked about, that you're gaining new skills so that you can continue increasing your wealth. Whether you're married or you're single, it doesn't matter, right? Wealth is for everybody if we apply the rules of the 2%er. Point number 8, seek counsel. I've kind of been hinting at that throughout this whole conversation, right? You have to have someone who knows and has done what you want to do. So surround yourself with those people. I have. We have. We do that as a company, right? Get yourself someone that holds you accountable. A coach is a great place to start. And make sure that you have good, solid financial advising and you're following a tool, right? True Wealth Formula by Hans. Hans Johnson, good tool, right? Gives you fundamentals of knowing where to put your money, how to do it. As I mentioned, Anderson Wealth Advisors, another good source. Man, there is a lot of people in our community that make a lot of money by following these rules that I'm telling you. I mean a lot. People that started off with nothing and now millions. I could tell you the Beachies. I could tell you Stuart and Lisa Lynn. Jackie and Carmen O'Quinn, your beloved trainers who we love here at the company. They live this every single day of their life, right? And helping others along the journey, right? So point number 9, very important and one that I've really taken to heart, and that is take care of yourself and your A-team. You could do all these other steps that we talked about, have all this money and wealth and things going on, but not taking care of yourself, not watching your health, not watching what you're putting in your mouth. Right? You want to be a real Weight Watcher? Watch what you're putting in your mouth. That's what I've had to learn, right? I cannot out-exercise my fork. So I've had to learn discipline. I've had to learn to take care of that. Taking care of my A-team, making sure I'm spending time with them, make sure that I'm taking vacation, make sure that I'm pouring into my family. Again, what we call our A-team. To make sure, and our core team here at Destiny Global, to be sure that we're all moving forward and we're in alignment. We have a vision and a focus and we're working towards it. Point number 10, and I want you to hear this one loud and clear. Invest in others. This is how I've created so much wealth for our own family, right? So I get involved in small entrepreneur groups. I find out business opportunities. I work with them. I help young people develop their businesses. And as I do that, sometimes I'll invest in that business. I've done that for years. I've done it for over 20 years. I own small portions of a lot of different small companies. Some of them hit big. Some of them just get by. Why? Because not all businesses are going to succeed. Market conditions change. But it's stick-to-itiveness. It's persevering. It's staying with it. Most companies that start off as startup will experience very difficult times. Some of the greatest companies in the history of the United States barely made it at the beginning, and now they're household names. Amazon, you know Jeff Bezos, right? When you look at Tesla, where you have Elon Musk, these companies almost didn't make it. Do you realize that? But it was perseverance and stick-to-itiveness. Every company at some point was a startup. But someone had the vision, or a team had a vision and stuck to the plan and made it happen, okay? So what am I telling you? Invest in others, because you can be the answer to someone else's prayer. Along those same lines, give your resources to those in need. Charity is such an important thing, right? Here we are part of King's Ransom Foundation. We make sure that we're feeding the widow, the orphan, and the poor. And the return to us, that we'll never know a lot of these people. We'll never see that actually something come back to us directly from those people. But the goodness of our Creator, when we do it, when we're following rules, His rules, goodness comes back to us. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. So I encourage you to take heart to these 10 habits of 2%ers, put them into effect in your life, and watch your life soar. Thank you for joining us today for this edition of Success Tips.